Hi, I'm a positive psychology researcher. Positive psychology has now been around for a few decades. And the question is, what have we learned from all this research? Well, the main thing is we've learned that personal relationships or social relationships are critical to our happiness. High quality relationships with friends, with family members, with a romantic partner are essential to your happiness. But really, don't we already know this? Is positive psychology research not much more than the confirmation of the obvious? I don't think so. There's been some really surprising findings in the field. Let me give you a few examples. Social relationships matter to happiness, but did you know that even children's imaginary friends contribute to their happiness? In another research finding that I think is surprising, they looked at actors who had won an Oscar, were nominated for the Academy Awards and actually won the Oscar. What the research showed is people who won the Oscar lived longer than other actors in the same movie who weren't nominated. And in fact, these actors who won Oscars lived longer than actors from other movies who were nominated but did not win. As a third example, we know that high levels of optimism are a good thing. Highly optimistic people have advantages. For example, they have less stress before surgery, recover more fully from surgery. They're more hopeful, greater satisfaction with life, and are happier. But research shows you can have too much of a good thing when it comes to optimism. Super optimistic people in the top fraction of 1%, have certain disadvantages. People who are super optimistic are more likely to have an unwanted pregnancy, are more likely not to quit smoking, and are more likely to die prematurely. Super optimistic people simply take unnecessary risks. And one final example is when people are asked, what contributes most to your happiness? If you could change one thing about your life, what would it be so you were happier? What do people say? The most common answer is they think more money equals more happiness. And what the research shows is that in Canada and the United States at least, once family income gets above $75,000 a year, it's not accompanied with more happiness. So if you add up the income of everybody under your roof at home, once you get to $75,000, more money, not more happiness. It makes a difference going from $40,000 to $50,000 a year. That equals more happiness, but not from $140,000 to $150,000 a year. So the research in positive psychology is more than the confirmation of the obvious. What the research shows is many surprising and I think very interesting results. For me, a field of study isn't very interesting unless it has some surprising findings. And what I hope I've showed is that some of the findings of positive psychology are indeed surprising. But there's one finding that I think goes beyond surprising. To me, it's flabbergasting. What the researchers did is they looked at the photographs taken of baseball players when they turned pro. These are for the baseball cards. And they looked at the width of the smile of the players. Now, some players didn't show a smile at all. Some showed the hint or a tidbit of a smile. And some showed a really big smile. And what was remarkable is that the smile shown in their photograph when they're in, say, their early 20s predicted their longevity many decades later. Those that showed no smile lived 7 years less than those that showed a really big smile. And those that showed a hint of a smile were somewhere in between. So the findings of positive psychology really are surprising.